Oh, a beef cheek taco? So good, I currently have a swarm of wasps buzzing around me trying to get it. Hey guys, welcome back to Flooded with Flavour. Today, we are smoking these delicious morsels of meat. Now, if you're wondering what these are, I mean, you've seen the title, so you should already know. These are beef cheeks. Very lean looking, however, good bits of meat with quite a lot of intramuscular fat. You'll see there's not much fat on the outside. Doesn't matter, there's a lot of fat on the inside, which brings me to how we're gonna cook these bad boys, because these pieces of meat are quite difficult to get right. For the duration of the cook, they're not gonna be tender. They're gonna be harder than the tree at the side of the camera right now. They will be literally inedible. But we'll hit a certain point where all of a sudden, they'll go from rock hard to literally buttery tender. And at that point, we turn them into tacos. Now then, you'll be very happy to hear that since the last video, I've learned what shutter speed is. So this video should look a lot nicer, and also the weather's playing a bit nicer. And by playing nicer, I mean it's not ridiculously sunny. It's not as if someone's shining literally the sun into my eyes. It's the typical UK weather that is actually very comfy for smoking. It's cold, it's grey, it's overcast, and it's raining. So you know what, this video might even double up as an ASMR video at certain points, so enjoy that. We are currently under the canopies of multiple trees. You know, when the rain comes down on it, god damn, is that satisfying, especially when you're outside tending to meat and starting a fire. And so with that said, let's firstly outline today's cook. We're gonna get these bad boys on the smoke in a minute, and we're gonna smoke them for a couple hours maybe till they get a good color on them, until the bark really starts to, or the rub really starts to adhere and the bark starts to build. Then we're gonna do something real special with them, which, you know, I'll wait till that moment to show you what we're gonna do. So all we need to do with these bad boys really is rub them. We're gonna be doing tacos, so I'm gonna be using a Mexican kind of fajita style seasoning. I would normally make my own, but truth be told, in the effort of being lazy on Flavour with Flavour, I kind of can't be arsed, and my favorite, absolute favorite barbecue rub for Mexican stuff is Malcolm Reed's Bonafide chili rub. So we're going to be using that. I use this on just about anything: chicken, steak, pork, even fish tacos. I will use this on. It is exceptional, and to be honest with you, it just includes most of the stuff that I would use in a regular fajita seasoning that I'd make myself. So, you know, I'm going to cut the corner today and use this bad boy. So real easy, we're just going to liberally rub these bad boys up. Want to make sure we get all the sides as well. And to be honest, for now, that should be pretty good. I'm gonna touch up the bottom of these, I think, maybe when we put them on the pit, because there's quite a bit of liquid in this pan, and it might make the rub a little bit tacky at first. They're looking pretty damn good. The pit in the background, you may be able to hear, is firing up. I'm hearing the satisfying cracks of coals. So we're gonna wait for the pit to fire up and then get these bad boys on. So today we're going to be running maybe 250 to 275 with some good old chunks of cherry wood. Cherry and beef go together really well, especially for beef cheeks. I've only done beef cheeks once before, but I used cherry wood and they were delicious. So I'm going to pin some of that down on the cherry wood. So this bad boy is going to go on. I am also, I'm not sure if you can see, using a fire basket today. And the reasoning for that is because it's quite windy today. It's also quite cold. So we're going to need more airflow to keep the fire running at a constant temperature. And basically what this does is it allows there to be more airflow beneath the fire. So there's a grill grate beneath where the basket is, which is where the ashes fall down to, but it's also where air can flow in under the fire and keep it going. Obviously the UK can get quite windy, and wind can sometimes be the arch nemesis of keeping a good fire. Well, sometimes, not sometimes, it is the arch nemesis of keeping a good fire going. So at times like this, the basket is very handy. You know, there's something so satisfying about picking up a burning log and not feeling it. Now, although the pit is still coming at the temp, I like to get beef cheeks on a little bit earlier, just so they can get maximum smoke flavour. They're not going to be exposed to the smoke for an insanely long time. It's not going to be like a brisket or beef ribs where they're exposed for like 7 or 8 hours. These guys are really only going to get about 3, maybe 4 hours in the smoke. It really depends on how the bark starts to set. So I want to get them in as early as possible. If I get a little bit of dirty smoke at the start whilst the coals start to burn down initially, I'm not too bothered. It'll be like 10 minutes of dirty smoke at most. It's not really going to create like an acrid taste at all, so it shouldn't affect anything. So let's get these bad boys on. Oh, these bad boys right here. I am also going to stick a probe in the biggest cheek, purely so I can sit there and watch temperatures whilst I'm in my room playing Escape from Tarkov, so I don't have to come downstairs and constantly check them. Temperature doesn't matter all that much, but we want to be entering the next stage of this cook at maybe around 160 to 165 Fahrenheit per cheek. So I'm just going to stick this probe right here in the biggest cheek. Right now, of course, I don't know if you can see that, we are probing 46 Fahrenheit, which is a little bit raw. So let's give it maybe 2 or 3 hours. I am going to spritz these with apple cider vinegar, maybe every hour and a half, so only 2 or 3 times. Just if they look dry, I'll spritz them a little bit, but as you'll see later on, dryness shouldn't be an issue with these, even if we overcook them. The thing with beef cheeks is, obviously you want to cook them right, but if you happen to overcook them a little bit, that's far better than undercooking them. That is such a bad camera angle, holy shit. If you undercook them, they are literally like eating rocks. Whereas if you overcook them, yeah, you might lose a little bit of moisture, but we'll fix that later. You'll see. So, into the smoke bath these bad boys go for a couple hours. Okay then, so the beef cheeks were about 160, 165. They've gone this great mahogany colour. I'm not sure if you can see that quite well on camera. The lighting always does a change in this position. The lighting always goes from one extreme to the next, so never expect consistent lighting on this channel, unless I buy a light box, which I probably should do. But anyway, the cheeks, as you can see, good mahogany colour, kind of like brisket when you'd wrap it. However, as you can see, they are like rocks. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm gonna hit a beef cheek. Literally heavier than the heavier bag that I hit when I'm boxing, right? So we have to do something special to these guys. So as you can see, I've got them in a Dutch oven, a cast iron Dutch oven. And what we're gonna do is partly submerge them in beef broth, which I have right here. You don't wanna, oh shit, there it goes. You don't wanna drown these things in beef broth, just like partly submerge them. This is gonna be the element of the cook that ensures that they stay moist. Like I said earlier, if you overcook them a little bit, it really won't matter because the beef broth, well, that's a pretty much perfect amount. The beef broth will make sure that they stay very moist. And then we're gonna add a whole diced white onion, about 6 or 7 cloves of garlic, basically a whole head, and 2 whole jalapenos into the mixture. Mix it all in a little bit, make sure most of it's submerged, and then we're gonna stick the lid on this bad boy, and it's gonna go back onto the pit, literally until the cheeks are tender. I'd say maybe another 5 or potentially 6 hours. I'll test them maybe every 2 hours to see how they're probing. Temperature at this point doesn't matter, you just want to be probing the cheeks, and if the probe goes in like butter, they're good to go. If the probe goes in like you're trying to stick a butter knife into a rock, then suffice to say, they aren't ready. So back on the pit, maybe I might bump the temps up a little bit to like 275, 300 now, instead of running 250 to 275 just to get the cook done, and I'll report back in when they're done. Okay then, after a solid 8 hours on the smoke, probing around 205 like literal butter, here we have our cheeks, and let me tell you, these guys are, oh my lord, oh, to say that they're pull apart tender kind of does them a disservice. We're just gonna pull these apart, as you can see here. Nothing crazy, oh my god, these are like butter. Nothing crazy to it, just get them in your hands, work them around. If by some crazy stroke of luck you happen to be following along at home, well, congrats, enjoy your beef cheeks. As you can see, we got an incredible smoke ring on these guys. The bark is, I mean, this is brisket bark right here. This is brisket bark, straight up. And these are gonna make for some absolutely god tier tacos. Now, before we even make the tacos, you guys know that I gotta try a bit first, just on its own. This is a piece of 8-hour smoked beef cheek. Let's see how it tastes. That's what I'm talking about. That is why I restarted this channel, ladies and gentlemen. Good God, that is something else. Okay, so here we just have a little bit of the broth from the Dutch oven. Just gonna go ahead and pour this, not all of it, just a little bit over the meat to moisten it up. I mean, you can see it did not need more moisture, but you know. Okay, we gotta make this taco assembly quick because I'm getting assaulted by wasps right now. I've had to swat away about 15. So, here we have the onion, the chili, and a few other things from the liquid that I've took out and I've blended up into a little bit of a salsa, kind of. So I actually didn't bring a spoon for this, which is great preparation. As you can see, I was born to make, my God, wasps, leave me alone.
Buggers, heading over the rooftops.
Holy fucking, there's a fucking hive here. I was born to make cooking videos. So I'm just gonna go on with a tiny little bit of this as the base of the taco, just a little bit there. That's gonna be quite spicy, so not too much of it. Followed by a good heaping of pulled beef cheek. Hit it with a little bit of white onion, some lime, and of course, cilantro to finish, or coriander, if you happen to be a Brit following along. And that right there, that right there is a beef cheek taco. So good, I currently have a swarm of wasps buzzing around me trying to get it. So, I think it's finally time to try the finished product. This is a 8-hour smoked beef cheek taco going in. Shout out if you get that reference. Where do I even start? Wasp, holy shit. Okay, here we go. Oh. Oh my God. Oh. You know what? I understand why there's currently 3,000 wasps swarming around me. Case in point, that is so fucking good. You have to do, if you have a pit at home, hell, even if you don't have a pit, get yourself some beef cheeks, cook them real slow, real low, put them in some broth, finish them off like this. I can assure you that you will not regret it. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, I'm going to round this out quick because I'm getting assaulted by a hive of wasps. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe down below, leave a like, all the usual crap that I asked for on YouTube. And oh my God. Okay, I think the wasp queen is on her way, so I gotta go. Thank you for watching very much, and I'll catch you all in the next one.